Cohen isn't done. Oh, I have a clip from what he said about their time on the show. So let's watch that and then we'll keep going. Okay? Here we go.
I think this was going on during BravoCon, John.
Well, they said it's been going on for forever.
Right,
so
for 6 months, 6 or 7 months. Yeah. BravoCon was in October.
Yeah.
So there's video that people were posting of Tom and the extras. And I was at that show, and I'm standing there, and Raquel's behind me, and Ariana's in front of me, and you can see how they're both looking at Sandoval. It's wild. This is reverberating, okay? Now, Wednesday night, Sheena was on Watch What Happens Live with Raquel. Mm-hmm. And we played a game called the BFF test. You know the game, where I read a statement and then both the guests answer at the same time and we see if their answers match. I said, who's the cuter Tom, Sandoval or Schwartz? They both said Sandoval. I looked up and said to Raquel, oh, you said Sandoval.
Oh, weird.
And then we moved on. Now, during the commercial break,
oh, damn,
Sheena said I guess Sheena's antenna was up. And now I'm going through my cards and they're telling me in my ear what the time cue is and whatever. Sheena said to Raquel, I only picked Sandoval because I knew that you were going to pick Schwartz.
Oh, my God.
And Raquel said, well, Sandoval has abs, and kind of shrugged.
What? Oh, the hussy.
So, that was interesting. And again, I'm letting this, I didn't think twice about it. Then I DM'd Sheena over the weekend. I go, what was that conversation that you guys had about that BFF test? I thought it was odd. Then I'm thinking back, and I hope Bravo reruns. Bravo needs to rerun both of these Watch What Happens Lives because we need to watch them like the Zapruder tape. Because when Schwartz was on with Sandoval, I believe on premiere night, there was some odd energy between them. Schwartz was looking at Sandoval the entire time, almost for guidance on answers. So the big question is, when did Schwartz find out about this? Okay. I mean, that's one of the big questions. Okay.
I think you even mentioned that last week about them. You said something.
Yeah, it was odd.
They were weird.
Ooh. All the red flags. But yeah, I mean, we all saw that on Watch What Happens Live. And I even think that Katie had said, she'd like a little video of it. And she was like, this is the moment where Sheena realizes who Raquel really is. Because Sheena kind of looks at Raquel when she says Sandoval, almost like a WTF moment. You know what I mean? All right, let's keep going because I do think that Andy Cohen gives a little bit more insight, okay? Now, this is according to Variety. It says, after the Tom Raquel scandal, Andy Cohen says new Vanderpump Rules episode with Ariana are, quote, really shocking. All right. He says Vanderpump Rules fans were stunned by a TMZ report on March 3rd that stars and real-life couple Tom Sandoval and Ariana Madix split after Sandoval allegedly cheated on her with another co-star, Raquel. Okay? Bravo mastermind Andy Cohen started the March 6th episode of the Sirius XM show Andy Cohen Live by weighing in on the drama and how it will affect the current 10th season, which premiered on February 8th. First of all, when you watch the rest of the season of Vanderpump Rules with the overlay of knowing that Raquel and Sandoval, what's happened between them, it's really shocking, Cohen said. Even Wednesday night's episode, you're not going to believe it. Watching it with this overlay, there's a moment between Ariana and Raquel where you see where their friendship is, which is good, that you won't believe. Cohen also said there is a reunion looming that will inevitably be filled with emotion. There are about 10 more episodes to go until the reunion. That's right, you guys, don't forget, we're only on like episode 4 of Vanderpump Rules. I think the one coming up might be 4 or 5. That's very early in the season when you think about it. Not even halfway through. Okay, let's keep going. Now we're shooting the reunion in about 2 weeks. This is a reunion that's going to be, I'm girding my loins. Ew, Andy, not your loins. Anyway, Cohen also confirmed rumors that Bravo cameras were rolling over the weekend to catch the fallout to the breakup and how it impacted the cast. Cohen also noted that he recently had Raquel and co-star Sheena Shea on his late night show, Watch What Happens Live. The trio played a game in which they chose which of the show's Toms, Sandoval or co-star Tom Schwartz, was more attractive. One of Raquel's storylines this season focuses on her flirtation with the newly single Schwartz. So Cohen and Shea were both surprised when Raquel chose Sandoval as her preference. Sheena said to Raquel, I only picked Sandoval because I knew that you're going to pick Schwartz. And Raquel said, Sandoval has abs, and kind of shrugged. So that was interesting, Cohen said. Now, for that one, you guys, my question is this. What are your thoughts on Raquel's sort of narcissistic, witchy behavior that she has going on? Like, to me, she's been very, very nasty. She was extremely nasty to Katie on the show, sitting across from Katie being like, well, why are you so upset? I haven't hooked up with Tom Schwartz yet. Sitting across from Katie and being like, yeah, I want to make out with, I asked, Tom Schwartz if he wanted to make out. That was very, very nasty. The way she's been treating James and Allie, very, very nasty, And now, as we know, all of the stuff going on, the Tom sweatshirt, wearing the Tom sweatshirts to BravoCon, that was very, very nasty. Gifting that same sweatshirt to Andy Cohen on Watch What Happens Live, very, very nasty. Having Tom Sandoval dress up as her as Halloween, very, very nasty. Wearing the matching lightning bolt necklaces, very, very nasty. And just her overall attitude has been pretty much very nasty. And then for her to be like, Sandoval has abs, whatever, and shrug, very, very nasty. And if you notice, the only time Raquel has had any sort of like wavering and quivering and being that little Bambi person that she pretended to be recently as of late, because this season we've already seen like that brand new Raquel, was during her Page 6 interview that she did with Sheena Shea. Now, if you watch that Page 6 interview, and that interview happened like the day of or the day before the Watch What Happens Live interview, and this was right before everything was exposed and hit the fan, she's kind of like quivering in the interview, and she seems like she's about to cry, and she seems a little unsteady. The reason why, wait 1 second. The reason why I think that her voice was quivering like that isn't because she's like some shy person and she's so nervous and, she doesn't want to talk about Katie or anything like that. Is because the Page 6 reporter was asking her about her text messages. And she knew that in her phone, and she had her phone out, she knew that in her phone, she had those sex videos that she had been sending to Sandoval. And I think that her quivering voice was fear. She was afraid that it was going to be some, stupid little skit that they were going to film, and they were going to be like, show us your phone, show us your last text message, show us your last whatever, I would be very fearful, and my voice would be quivering if I'm in a interview with a top publication and they're like, show us your phone, and I know in my phone that there are sex videos of me. I would be shook too. So her little act during that whole little Page 6 interview wasn't her being that doe-eyed Bambi. That was her being afraid that they were going to ask to see her phone and her sex videos would be exposed. But the gag is that same night, that Wednesday night, was the night that her sex video was exposed not on her phone, but on Tom Sandoval's phone. Because as we all know, that's how Ariana found out. She found those same exact sex videos that had to exist on Raquel's phone first in order to send it to Sandoval. Right? She had to tape the sex videos somewhere. Clearly, she sent them from her own phone. That's the gag. She was so afraid that page 6 was going to ask to see her phone, she didn't realize that Tom's phone was the one that was being exposed. That's how they got caught. But I want to know what you guys think, put it down below about this whole situation. What do you think about Andy Cohen weighing in? We all knew that Andy didn't have any, executive power at the show. But I think the bigger question for Andy, for us, is you need to come prepared to the reunion. Do you know what I mean? Like, we've all been like, Andy, you're phoning it in on the reunions. I didn't even watch last season of Vanderpump Rules, so I don't know how he did then. But you're going to need to bring it, okay? You're going to need to bring it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to need to bring it. I want all the questions asked. How long have you guys been having sex? When did the relationship actually start? When did Tom Schwartz actually know? I definitely think Tom Schwartz knew in April of 2022, if not before, definitely in April, because that's when they used him as the cover-up for Coachella. Anyway, I also need Andy. I'm going to also need you to ask the questions about the Patrick Summers allegations, which will be our next story, you guys. But Andy, you need to ask about the Patrick Summers allegations. Who is this Julia? Who is this Julia that Patrick Summers is saying, was also seeing Tom? I have so many questions. And I think that's the question for Andy. Bring it to the reunion. What questions do you think Andy needs to ask Raquel and Ariana and Tom and Schwartz and everybody at the reunion? Put it down below. Let me know what you guys think. But before you do that, and before we move on to our next video, you know what to do. Go ahead and like this video. Subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it when we go live. Also, be sure to share this with a friend because a kiki is always better with community. And check out our description box down below and be sure to join our newsletter. Okay, guys? Go ahead and join the newsletter. It is for free. So with that, let's move on to our last story of the day. Patrick Summers has come out of retirement to clap all the way